Hi everyone! In today's video, I'm going to tell you about my OC lore. People begin to disappear again. She was like, guys, this is government or something. Like, isn't this enough for you to go home? So what just happened? Guys, who is they? Is he gay? Cars, aren't driving anymore, okay. So I have full Google document and look at my nails. Look at my nails. Inspired by my main OC Martin. I love him so much. He's everywhere. And yes, I'm iPad kid because I have so many games that I don't play, but for some reason I hope that you will like it because these characters are they are my whole life. I created them almost 3 years ago. So this is only a beginning of the plot because I plan to do the whole story in animatic or comic or something else. I don't know what is going to be, but I want to do a full story, so I don't want to spoiler anything, but this is enough to kinda understand who the heck is this and why is all of this happening right now. Help me, please. I'm going to read this out loud. Please, I'm begging you, please follow my Instagram. I'm begging you. I'm most active on Instagram. Every day I post something in my stories or posts, drawings, memes about my characters, stuff about my OCs, sketches, doodles. I post every day. If you want to see this beautiful face every day, please. I have 100 and something subscribers, so I really want to grow my Instagram. So if you have Instagram, please subscribe. I will kiss you right now. Oh my god. Oh, guys, please subscribe to my Instagram. Is it okay? I'm still writing this story, so it is possible that after some time what is written here will no longer be canon.
1967.
In 1967, in a small town in Oregon, people began to disappear. The first missing was Liam Weston, a 17-year-old boy. He disappeared without a trace in August 14, 1967. The police was trying to find him, but it was no successful. The nearest forest was completely cleared. All the neighbors were asked. Posters about his disappearance were hung everywhere, but nothing. Not a single trace and not a single clue. People continued to disappear. After 5 missing people in a month, police just gave up because what the heck is going on? They were disappeared without a trace, so no clue, no bodies, no anything, just poof, and they're gone. So yeah, they give up because police just said this is a serial killer or something. The case was closed. They didn't even really try to find this serial killer. They tried, but they gave up, so I don't know, shame on them. Now we are in the beginning of 2000s. And after many years of quiet life in a small town in Oregon, people begin to disappear again. So after 30 years, Catherine Robinson, a woman working in the police, does not shut up about the fact that this is all a conspiracy, and of course the government or even sectarians are involved with this. This woman, she knew about what was happened 30 years ago, and she was like, guys, this is government or something, or sectarians. This is clearly not a serial killer, because Like, but of course no one believed her because like the whole like department thought she was like crazy about conspiracy theories, and they just ignored her because what are you talking about, woman? Shut up. Ed Robinson, her husband, constantly complains that he cannot reach out to his friend Steve Johnson. Steve does not answer his calls, but Steve is not missing. Like Steve is there, but he just don't answer his calls and everything. So like he's there, but he's not. Like it's something like as he was replaced, or it's no longer him. So what is happening to Steve Johnson, guys? His wife is pregnant, so like at first Ed thought that it was like, well, he's just busy, he's just like taking care of his wife and everything's fine. Something was clearly wrong with Steve. So of course Catherine also finds out about the situation with the family. I'm sorry guys, I ran out of storage, so yes. Catherine also finds out about the situation with the family friend, with Steve, and finds an explanation for this. Steve was subjected to a cult ritual. Ed is already used to such conclusions, so he reassures her that Steve probably got up on the wrong side of bed and everything is alright, like it's just life, you know. But after 2 weeks of getting up in the wrong side of bed, Ed himself slowly begins to believe in the nonsense about cultists, sectarians, and government. Oh my god, guys, so cringe. Catherine suggests following Steve. Ed, still hoping that this is just some nonsense, agrees. They began to dig too deep. From records in the archives and interviews with neighbors, they learned that Catherine was not the only one who was sure that cultists were to blame. Relatives people complained that before like disappearance of their like siblings, family, related friends, like everyone, they behaved strangely. So amnesia, loss of balance, pallor, all of the symptoms were noticed in everyone who was soon declared missing. Soon they noticed that someone was digging too deep, and they decided to get rid of the couple. So they decided to get rid of the Ed and Catherine. They were too smart, you know, so we're gonna like kill you or something, because so there's like a lot of spoilers. So long story short, Catherine magically managed to escape. She swore that she would never tell anyone about everything that happened. Catherine abandoned everything she had, her entire life, quit her job, moved out of her and Ed's house, and started a new life as a teacher at a local school. So what just happened? Guys, who is they? Why did they decided to get rid of the poor Ed? What is going on? Why did they took Steve? Guys, he has a pregnant wife and you took him. Why? As long as our planet existed, there was something else, a parallel dimension, in which people called angels had a god who changed every 300 to 500 years. In 1966, it was time to create a physical form for the new god, so they started to create. A large number of people were needed to form a body, so they began to disappear without a trace. So, like, angels needed people from our dimension for forming a body, a character, like face shape, all of these things for the physical form of their god. So that's why people started to disappear. On April 1st, 2000, the god was born. He was named
Menelaus.
Menelaus. Every time a new god was created, he had to be given power, like a special halo that gives him the ability to rule this world. Along with the halo, he was given an assistant, a flying eye Aglaros.
Aglaros.
Menelaus got a halo, but he didn't want to rule. He didn't need any power and subjects. He was irritated by their clothes, their manners, their rules. Why should he follow their rules if he can create his own rules? Yeah? And he did. He created his own rules and destroyed every single angel, slayed every single angel as soon as he was given the halo. He was imposter, guys. He was imposter. Only Aglaros remained with him. Yeah, so he's a true friend. Everyone was gone. Only Aglaros. From that moment on, he was alone in this grey, empty world. Was it a good decision? We'll see. So 17 years have passed, and here we are in a good old 2017. Cassie Johnson, so like daughter of Steve Johnson, as always is bothering Ethan with her theories. When will her brother finally understand that their father could not have been killed by the serial killer? So the serial killer who killed like 10 people a month at the same rate for 30 years before, does he like not age at all? Like, this is nonsense. She's a very similar to Catherine, because Catherine did not like, she knew that something was wrong. So this is not a serial killer. And Cassie is the same. She's not believing what police and government says. Ethan is her brother, so Ethan son of Steve Johnson as well, so Ethan Johnson, guys. Ethan was tired of this. Like, why can't she just leave this situation alone? The murders have stopped, everything is fine, like, the wound won't heal if you keep touching it. So conspirology and theories are good, but it's even better to try not to be late for Mr. Cooper's lesson, or they'll be locked in the principal office without their phones again. So this is not the first time. Okay, we got it. During another boring lesson, Mike Anderson gets a note in the back of his head, which was obviously written by his best friend Ethan, judging by his smiling face. So yeah. The note was an invitation to go to the most popular abandoned building in the town. Or more accurately, outside the town. Outside the town? No way! Mike's dad will never let him go outside the town. Especially with Ethan. But of course, after school, Cassie assures everyone that this is like the coolest place in all of Oregon. And they simply must go there because, like, what do you mean? This building will soon be torn down, so they will never have the opportunity to take a photo in the legendary place again, so we must go, guys. Max Nelson is also not thrilled with this idea, but he agrees to go on one condition. He needs to be home by 9 p.m. Otherwise, he will not be allowed to go to Ethan's on the weekend to play PlayStation 4, guys. So 9 p.m. and if Max goes, then Mike too. So like Max and Mike in love. So yeah, I think like I hope that you understand. I can't tell a story the normal way. The Golden Four set off on the way tomorrow evening on August 14. So Liam Weston went missing on August 14, and our little group set off on their way tomorrow evening on August 13th, so this is like a little bit weird. Long, long and boring road. How much longer can they go? Like, the most amazing thing they saw on this way was 4 cars passing by. Ethan is already starting to regret that he suggested this idea, but here finally a sign of life. A gas station was visible not far away. The whole group got excited because they could finally drink some water and take a break. The gas station was small, but here's the problem. The seller went somewhere, so there's no cashier.
This is a little bit weird, guys. Like, we must go home.
But of course, they are just some 17 years old guys, so they waited for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, no one. What's more, even in the area around the gas station, there was absolutely no one. The cashier just disappeared, you know. Isn't it weird enough for you to go home, guys? Ethan decided that that means they can't take it for free, guys. Friends weren't thrilled with Ethan's idea, but there's probably no other option. So shook. Suddenly, the whole gas station shook. The lights inside started to flicker. Cans, bottles, bags of snacks fell to the floor. Like, what's happening, guys? What the fuck? Friends were scared. What is going on? An earthquake? They couldn't find the answer. No one had a network. What's more, even the time stopped on all the phones. Guys, isn't this enough for you to go home? After some time, everything calmed down, but there was still no connection, and time on the timer on the phone still didn't start. So what the fuck? Are you sure that you don't want to go home? So the group ran out of the gas station, and what should they do now? Like, there are no people, no connection. It's an hours walk home. Even cars like aren't driving anymore. Like, okay. Mike, as the group leader, suggested going to the abandoned building since they only have a short distance to go. Like, they are almost there, and there should be like a bunch of teenagers there in the evening, and maybe they have a connection and will be able to call their parents. Suddenly, the bushes began to move. The group got scared because there was clearly someone in the bushes. But of course, it was not a monster. It was just a rabbit, guys, who was carrying a piece of apple in his mouth. As suddenly, a strange guy runs out after the rabbit. Why did he seem strange to them? Probably because of his long purple hair, tail, and cat ears. For some reason, the guy was chasing the rabbit, shouting something about his last apple, completely unaware of the 4 teenagers standing in a stupor. When the purple guy finally lost the rabbit, breathing heavily after the chase, he slowly turned his head to the group and also froze in a stupor. To the question, "Who are you and how do you got here?" no one answered. But Ethan, stepping forward, asked the guy, "Are you like a cosplayer or something? Is that cat ears? Are you even real?" To which the stranger did not respond. The situation became even worse when a flying eye flew out of these very bushes and rushed straight to the purple guy. Okay, a couple of minutes later, the friends finds out that the stranger's name is Martin, the flying eye is Mr. Fluffy, and that he is clearly not a cosplayer. What is going on? After all this nonsense, the group was no longer sure that the drinks at the gas station were not expired or something. They peacefully said goodbye to Martin and were about to go back when, turning around, they noticed that the gas station is gone. It has disappeared. No gas station, guys. To which Martin only shrugged his shoulders. Guys, I don't know what you're talking about, like what gas station? I didn't do anything with this gas station, but he knows where the exit is, and to go there, they will have to follow him. I'm sorry, Martin. I'm sorry, Martin. I personally wouldn't go with him, but where did they end up? Who is Martin? What are his intentions? Where did the gas station go? We will find out someday. The end of the beginning. Yeah, this is the end, guys. We survived this. Oh my god. Yeah, I hope that you understand something, because English is clearly not my first language, so I tried. What are you thinking? What are you thinking about Martin? What do you think? What are the theories? What do you think is going to happen? Who is Martin? Oh my god! Is he gay? Please tell me in the comments. What are you feeling? What are you expecting this to be? If you liked this story, again, please follow my Instagram, because I have a bunch of drawings with my character and with this plot, and I have highlights on Instagram about the lore, OC stuff, the lore stuff. Oh my god, I hope you find this interesting, guys. So yeah, that's it. I love you guys so much, and oh my god, I almost have 100 subscribers. Guys, I almost have 100 subscribers. Thank you so much for this. I really appreciate it very much. You can't even imagine how I love you. Thank you. Bye. I did it again. I kissed the camera with my lipstick on.